So, good afternoon, everyone. Happy Sunday, by the way. Let's start off with that. First and foremost, thank you so much to the organizing committee for this wonderful invite. It's a great honor to be here to present, so thanks a lot. Basically, I can say that I've been here since the morning, and many people have already kind of taken some part of my talk in talking about machine learning, deep learning, AI, and also basically it shows that it's best not to come prepared. You have to kind of wing it on stage, so that's what I'm going to technically talk about it. So, just to introduce myself, my name is Dr. Tisa. I am a computer scientist by profession, and nowadays, I think everybody knows the meaning of AI, but let's go back a bit and see what actually happened before it became such a big bloom as of now. So back in the day when I was a student, we kind of learned the term computer science. So computer science is a very big circle, and part of it, a subset of it, is AI. Okay? Back then, AI was mostly taught to us in a theoretical form, meaning that the ideas that was there basically were built on what technology allowed us to do at that time. And many things that was mentioned at that time was ideas or hope that this would be the future. Okay? Of course, at that time, none of us thought that that would be a reality, given the technology there. Thankfully, now we are in 2024, technology is making things that was a dream once upon a time, a reality now. Okay? So, computer science hasn't been around for a few years only. You can go back history like 100 years where the idea of automating things started. So back then, what people would do is that they tried to do simple mathematical calculation, the things that we normally will use, the big gadgets and all. The idea was to automate it in a much more efficient and faster way. So across the years, the computer technology allowed us to expand that, and many things became very, very fruitful in the 1940s to the 1960s, where many of the technology that was allowed presented the opportunity to automate things, to make things quicker, to kind of rely less on human mistakes and make it automated. Okay? So that basically took charge across the 1970s, 80s, 90s, and on. Till the point where, I think many of you know this, Apple came out with this iPad. That revolutionized the computer world, whereby smartphones became the new it. You know, last time phones were so huge and so big that literally when you throw at somebody, you can't hurt them. Right? Nowadays, phones are so small, and I think many of us will agree that phones are much more important than our wallets now. Right? Where you can do payment, you can do all kinds of things on the phone. So that is where the technology allowed us to do this. Okay? So now, let's bring everybody back to the future, or the current moment here, building up towards the future. So where does AI come in? So AI is, of course, the subset of computer science. It is the nucleus at the moment now, whereby it is presenting a lot of opportunities to automate things. So AI stands for artificial intelligence, building on human intelligence. Similar as how the human brain works, whereby we are given options, we are given selections. Our brain tends to analyze it, go with our gut feeling and our emotion, decide on a given action or given decision and act upon it. Same thing goes with AI. But AI runs on computer. You automate things. So, to say that, AI is mimicking what human is doing at a faster and more greater scale. And with now the big supercomputers, one of it being, I think many of you have heard about it, ChatGPT, right? So that runs on a lot of possibilities, a lot of conditions whereby the computer will decide based on a prediction value between 0 to 100% which one would be the best option to take. Right. So before ChatGPT, this technology wasn't out there yet. But upon the introduction of ChatGPT in 2022, that's where now you're seeing AI being linked to several different disciplines. One of them being natural language processing is what that makes ChatGPT so humanized, whereby you can ask a question and it returns. One of my students did this. She asked a question to ChatGPT. It did not give her an answer. She scolded ChatGPT and he said, "I'm so sorry." So you would imagine that the ChatGPT is becoming very close to how human would behave. That's why it is so hard to detect whether some materials are produced by a human or ChatGPT, because ChatGPT purposely creates mistakes as how a human would do when they write. So that's where the power of AI comes in. So artificial intelligence now, as you can see, is going to so many domains. Because of this development in ChatGPT, a lot of different models are being created. And most of these models, we call it large language model, whereby you are able to ask a computer and it is able to give you back meaningful, sensible text in a way that previously was impossible. One of the areas that many people are using AI is customer service, whereby you are talking to robots and getting feedback instead of human beings. Now here's where I link my talk to the term society here. So how AI is developing is, it is automating things at a faster rate. So some of it would be customer service, finance, healthcare, automation, and so forth. Now some of these are already in development for many, many years, but because of the availability of the technology today, we are able to do this in a much more efficient way and in a much more smaller capacity in size. By just a single chip, you're able to process billions of or very huge, or billions of parameters in a split second. That's where the term supercomputer comes together. Okay, so that's how our life are being changed. So with that, we have to embrace AI in a way that I think many of all the speakers have talked. You need to know a bit about deep learning. You need to know a bit about machine learning. You need to know a bit about AI in the sense that all of this computational is slowly taking shape. It's redefining the working world. It's redefining how people employ new graduates. These are changing employers' mindset. This is changing also how you all learn. So back in the day when I was around your age, I didn't know anything about computer. I didn't know anything about how to run a computer. You guys now are far more advanced. I've been here since the morning and I've heard so many good talks, and you guys are all touching on all of these terms that normally we would expect you to touch in your university life. But now you guys are touching it already in high school. So you are better prepared than the generations before you. So what I would say is AI will not go away. It is here to stay. How do we as society abide by it? We learn to adapt with it. So we are safe until AI develops an empathy. Then we might be in trouble like how Terminator's movie. But if AI doesn't develop any empathy, we're still safe. Okay? So to go with the theme of today, AI presents a limitless possibilities. So I can proudly say as a computer scientist, proud to stand here and looking at the development of computer science and AI for the last 20 plus years in the field, it is definitely, we are going infinity and beyond, as our Buzz Lightyear says it best. So thank you everyone for this opportunity, and thank you for joining me.